Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're having a look at quite a large changelog. This is War Thunder, the updates Regia Marina, which is kind of interesting. I'm wondering if this is going to be a sign of what is going to be coming forward in War Thunder, where instead of larger updates, we have a bunch of smaller ones. I would rather have the big, large ones anyway, on top of everything, but we'll have to see what happens when it comes to the future of War Thunder. Right now, the main idea of Regia Marina, the update that came out today, is the fact that the Italian naval tech tree is now open for research and purchase to all players, so everybody can have a go with it, everyone can have a bit of fun. I'll give my general thoughts on the Italian tech tree. Rank 1 is okay, Rank 2 has very low survivability, but a lot of firepower. The later machines, when it comes to that Rank 2, look really fun. Rank 3, the destroyers are very, very poor, very bad reload, and generally not very good survivability and pretty bad torpedoes, and the cruisers look no better. There is a reason why everything up there keeps going down in BR. Another thing to also mention before we move on is for Season 3 of World War Mode, they have now put back in to the War Thunder Wiki when the postponed sessions are going to be. So if you didn't know, Stars 2, game day 2 and 3, so basically for Stars 2 and 3 were postponed, and now you can see here, this is where the new areas are. So make sure to take a note of them if you want to get those 2 stars in order to be able to get playing. Unfortunately, it seems like they've cut the postponed times in half, because obviously we lost pretty much all of day 2, we lost pretty much, well, we did lose all of day 3, and to compensate that, we have a small little period here which just, in my opinion, isn't good enough. Or sorry, this one here which just isn't good enough. So yeah, it's a bit of a problem, but we'll have to see what happens going forward when it comes to it. As I said, make sure to make a note. So, what are the large changes of Regia Marina? Well, apart from the naval tech tree being open to everyone, they've added some new ground vehicles. These are all premiums, so they're all lower tier premiums, but I think they're designed to be able to give people a little bit of a boost to go forward with, and also maybe a sign that they're looking to improve the beginners packs which were on offer recently. If you didn't know, when it comes to the store, they've started introducing these beginner packs like this Italian one right here, and yeah, there you go, bang, already they've already changed it. Yeah, I thought they would. So they've changed the Italian beginners pack. Let's see, have they added in a British beginners pack by any chance? Oh no, that one's kept the same, but it looks like the idea of these vehicles being added, these are going to be the new beginner vehicles. So you have Japan with the Chi-He, and Britain with the Crusader 2, the Saint, and also the M14, 41, 47, 40, which is slightly different from the tech tree one. We'll have a look at them, but yeah, the 2 beginners packs which were heavily criticized when it came to their introduction were the Japanese one with the Chi-Ha shotgun, and the British one, because of its price and also because it has a Cromwell in it for some reason, the highest BR vehicle out of all of these. So to see these 2 get replaced, I think would make a lot of sense. Anyway, if we go back to the game, or go into the game, sorry, what we'll find is, so for Italy, they have the M14, 41, 47, 40. This is an M14 41, but with a larger gun on it. It also has a better gun right here. It has access to a 13.2, which can actually put out quite a lot of damage to these lower tier vehicles. You can see that it pens up to 24 millimeters and has quite good burst on it, but the main thing is the fact that you have the 47-40 gun, which is longer barreled and has better penetration. You can see here the rounds. You can see here that the rounds are 69, 60, 26 across the board, with a muzzle velocity of 70 or 755 meters per second. So overall, this is going to be kind of a new starter premium, I would say, and it's nice to see them. You know, we had a few which were added a little bit ago, such as the Spitfire. When we, let's see, where is it? Yeah, the Venture, which is right here, and hopefully this continues. Basically, very close or similar or the same copies of tech tree vehicles that people can play. and have a bit of fun with, and also get a nice premium bonus. This is the Crusader, the Saint. As you can see, it is got some wonderful little decals right here. You have the Saint T43617, then you have some of the squadron markings on the front there, which is really nice to see, and of course the Rhino. So yeah, this is the other one, just a complete copy of the Crusader that we see at 2.3 right here, the Crusader Mark II with the 40mm, and then the last one is the Chi-He, and the Chi-He is a 2.3 machine, which is a complete copy of, well, the Chi-He. It's as simple as that. The only difference is, of course, the camouflage on it, which you can see here. So yeah, we have some new, as I said, kind of starter premiums, and I think these, for me, the perfect premium in the game is something which is just a copy of a regular tech tree vehicle with, you know, with more bonuses to it when it comes to RP and SL. This means that it can never be told that, you know, it's overpowered or power creeped or anything like that. It just is exactly the same as what has been there before, so therefore it's, you know, should give exactly the same play. And it also means that people get to experience the whole tech tree instead of just, you know, vehicles which are outside of it. There was also a bunch of changes in this update, not just 2 vehicles and not just releasing the Italian tech tree, but also a bunch of missions and stuff. Enduring Confrontation got a lot of love. The front line now reflects the shape of sectors, so now it's drawn not with a curved line, but with rectangular lines along the border sectors. It used to be like that anyway. I wonder why they've changed it back. Naval Enduring Confrontation also gets a ton of love, so known and reported bugs with the visualization of the front line on Malta and Saipan after capturing and recapturing points have been fixed. Then we have a bug has been fixed when the base targeted for bombing located in the same square as the port did not disappear when capturing the port. Then we have disabling the respawn point in port is now possible only when the number of enemy vessels is greater than the friendly ones, only for ships and player-controlled aircraft which have landed either on the ground or at sea. A lone vessel can no longer block the respawn. So that's really nice, but that's not really the issues that at least I see Naval has right now. The problem that Naval has is it has ridiculous amounts of packet loss issues, and these eventually transferred into EC when it was running and made the game nearly unplayable, basically giving it 4 to 5 FPS. So until that is fixed, these changes don't really mean too much unless these changes fix that issue, but I highly doubt it. A bug with a user mission crash involving infantry has been fixed. Beautiful stuff. That means that we can get our cinematics rolling again. Roads have been corrected in the following locations: Ladoga, Kuban, Hergen Forest, Stalingrad, Mozdok, and Moscow. So are these the air maps that they've corrected them? By the way, they've actually added some trains to certain maps. Smolensk now has a train that you can hear chewing, and you can also destroy it, which is pretty cool. So maybe that is a nice sign to come. Hopefully we see another train on the likes of Ladoga. Visual bugs have been corrected in the following locations. I mean, that's really nice. It would also be nice to have like a video or screenshots of what you fixed, instead of just saying that you've fixed them. Because now I have no idea which ones you fixed, which ones you haven't fixed, and which ones, you know, are good and which ones are bad. So that's a bit of an issue, but I suppose it's nice to know that they've been fixed. Just a little bit more information would have been nice. Then we have the ground vehicle model, damage model, characteristic, and also weaponry changes. So you got the T-72A. The upper front plate protection parameters with kinetic and heat have been corrected. The equivalent of protection against kinetic effects is set to equal to 405, with the heats 500 and 510. Previously, it was erroneously overstated. Oh, okay. So, I mean, I had a lot of fun with the T-72A. Most people weren't firing heat at me. They were just firing APF SDS. So I don't think this is going to change too much of it, apart from the fact that I think it's lowered its kinetic protection a little bit. I wonder if that's with the upgrade or not. Because with the upgrade, I was able to bounce quite a decent amount of stuff. It felt very nice to play. The T-80B gets a similar treatment. It looks like they've lowered the overall protection. Same with the T-64B. So the Soviet tanks are just, they're getting You know, they're getting hit hard here when it comes to their overall protection. So we'll see if that will affect their BRs. I don't think it will. They're still pretty strong vehicles in their own right. They have a little bit of issue with mobility, but I just like the fact that they're quite small vehicles and they're hard to see compared to the Abrams and the Leopards running around, which are the size of apartment complexes. The M3 Bradley, the tow launcher unfolding time has been reduced. Oh, well, that's kind of nice. One of the problems with the Bradley that a lot of people pointed out is the fact that once you get to a target and you're ready to go, it takes years for the launcher to come up. So hopefully this gives people a little bit better time. The Sturm S, a bug allowing a shot on the move when the reload ends, has been fixed. So it's even worse now. Wunderbar. A bug with lateral friction of tracks where vehicles could climb steep mountains and hills, moving parallel to the slope, has been fixed. That is actually a large change because that is going to affect a lot of camping positions, especially from high-tier vehicles with a ton of horsepower. That's going to mean that there's going to be now a lot of positions that used to be very good but will not be able to be used used now. It kind of reminds me of 38th Parallel, Japan. There's actually a ton of maps. Kuban is a big one as well. Hopefully this affects stuff like the CV90-105 and all of the ones with crazy horsepower and no armor, so they can't just go goating. The Centauro MGS armor has been added to the optics. Well, that's wonderful. It won't make a difference. The P40 GC Leoncello artifact obstruction has been removed from the gunner's sight. I suppose that's nice as well. Once again, won't really make too much of a difference. The Rise P, that's also had artifact obstructions removed from the gunner's sight. Well, that's good. The gun animation on the CV90-120 has been fixed. I suppose I didn't know what was wrong with it. The SDRV-122, some nearer armor elements have been marked as volumetric. So they're still pushing the volumetric armor stuff. This is really good. You know, we've seen a lot of vehicles added to the game, and they've been given the volumetric armor thing. If you don't know what volumetric armor thing is, instead of modeling a piece of armor as like separate parts, the whole idea of volumetric armor is you model it as one large piece. So there are it's supposed to be a lot more realistic and a lot more defined instead of just, you know, a bunch of little squares. You have even smaller squares now. So therefore it's more realistic, which is good. And this is something that's been slowly implemented to the game for a very, very long time. And it's slowly getting there. I think recently we just had the T-54s done. I think obviously a lot of the top tier Soviet tanks got done a while back. A lot of the vehicles, the gift vehicles that have been given out over the last year or so have also had them, such as the 279, so that's awesome. The SPZ BMP-1 gun animation has been corrected, well that's nice. And the T-34 1st Guards Tank Brigade smoke round has been added. Lovely, so that gives that thing a little bit more purpose. There's also a bunch of aircraft model, damage model, characteristic and weaponry changes, and the Firebrand makes a wonderful return. What has happened to the Firebrand? A bug has been fixed where rocket pylons might appear on the model, even on the modification without rockets. Well, that's a letdown. I thought it was going to be, the Firebrand is now useful, but no, that is not the case here. Instead, we have a bug fix, so there you go. The Mi-35M, the protection cover has been removed from the electro-optical warfare system module, so it'll be easier to take out now. I don't think that makes too much of a difference, but it's nice to see. The SB2U2 and U3, a bug with shifting mounted weapons has been fixed. Oh, yes, that is an interesting bug if it's the one I'm thinking of. Basically what happens is your external guns, such as the 50 cal pods, they start singing shake, 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 Shannara, shake your body right, and basically they just they start shaking on your wings. So that's nice to see that fixed finally. The Kisarazu, the tail rotor texture has been fixed, obviously required. The UH-1B, 1C, 1CXM30, moving 7.62mm MGs, aiming angles has been fixed, beautiful stuff. The F-104A and C, a bug where the X-ray model was not consistent to the visual model, has been fixed. That's always a nice thing. You know, you've got to make sure that your armor profile, your physical model, and your visual model are all lined up. It's nice to see that happen. The F-104G, the cockpit textures have been fixed on the external model. so you'll be able to look nice from the outside. The Phantom FGR2, the lack of animation on the mounted gun pods has been fixed. Well, that's nice. I mean, that should mean that the gun moves. Then we have the J22A, the J22B, lack of animation on the right aileron has been fixed. I didn't even notice that when I was playing them. So shows how much attention I was paying. The P40Es, the visual model of the landing gear has been fixed, and then the P51Ks, the lack of shooting animation on the wing machine guns has been fixed. Was there? Well, I always run stealth, so I suppose I didn't really notice. The Votors, the display of speed on cockpit instruments has been fixed. That'll help the simulator guys out if they want to go full sim, I suppose. The launching of the air-to-air missiles, the Igla, Stinger, and Mistral from a launcher is now carried out with an offset above the target instead of pulling up after launch. This is exactly how the launch takes place in reality. So it's now carried out with an offset above the target instead of pulling up after launch. So this should make them slightly more accurate, but not a huge deal, I don't think. Because it basically means that the initial pull on the missile won't be as rough. So therefore it should be able to stay on target for a longer time. Interesting. The HS-123A1, an invisible tailhook has been removed. Why did it have an invisible tailhook? What? The Gladiators, the display of the speed in the cockpit's instruments has been fixed. Wonderful. Lovely change. The B6N All-Series, the pilot camera position on the cockpit has also been fixed. Now, there's a bunch of flight model changes and a bunch of other stuff that we will get to. So, if you want to have a look at the flight model changes, they're all right here. I'm not going to go through them too much because there's really not point. The only ones I will actually point out is the Scimitar, a bug leading to the incorrect operation of aileron amplifiers, resulting in a decrease of angular roll speed at subsonic speeds has been fixed. Now there will be no speed drop. One thing to mention about the Scimitar when it comes to its rudder, a lot of people seem to think it's a bug or it's broken, that the rudder is that bad at high speeds. No, it isn't. If you actually have a look at the pilot manual of the Scimitar, it shows that the Scimitar basically the rudder locked up at high speeds. It's as simple as that. And if you have a look at the overall statistics of the Scimitar, 51% of them were lost in accidents. The Scimitar was a horrific plane when it came to actually flying. There is a reason why it had a very short service life, and also it had a very short production run. I believe only about 70 of the damn things were made, and it was because of this. It had so many inherent issues, but it was pushed into service because it was believed that it was needed at the time because they were still waiting on the Lightning project. And also a bug leading to incorrect over and engine heat on the B-17G is kind of nice, so that is wonderful. There's a bunch of naval changes as well, so they changed a few armament stuff, such as the armor piercing capabilities of the front cone shrapnel for HE rounds has been increased towards splash penetration, so now HE is going to do way more damage, so have fun with that. And then there's also a bunch of changes to some top tier stuff and to some low tier stuff. If there's specific things that you're interested in, make sure to have a look. The economy research, the number of vehicles required to reach rank 4 and to get to rank 5 of the Italian Navy has been changed from 2 to 3. This is just to basically make sure that you research all of those cruisers instead of just a few of them. Even though they're not very good, you will just get used to it, I suppose. New decals numbers have been added for Swedish ground forces. Let's just check what those actually are really quick, because I haven't actually looked at them myself. So let's just go have a peeky, all right? So we have the Vik. Let's go to Sweden. Where are these? Is it these ones, maybe? No, these are already here. I don't know. Unless I've missed something, which I might have done. That does happen quite a lot. So don't be worried. Maybe you can find them yourself. The SDR-VM39TD default camo has been changed. Twitch camo added free in the custom section. So yeah, if you didn't know, the SDR-VM39TD was the Twitch drop M39, and it also was given a pretty cool camo. So yeah, have a look at that. The bugs for the user camo templates for the following vehicles. So I'm guessing this means that you can now make user camo templates of these, and it actually makes a bit more sense. So I'll look forward to more skins when it comes to that. So having a look at that. The game mechanics have been changed. Looks like a lot of high-tier stuff. Navigation bombing interface, the continuously computed release point, CCRP, has been changed. Added a vertical line for more comfortable aiming on dives and pull-ups. Oh, okay, so this is the thing that's available on stuff like the Phantom, where you set up for a bombing run, and you can actually like mark a target on the ground, and then it will actually now show you a vertical line from that target to be able to hit, and then it will automatically drop your bombs. So it's making it a little bit more brainless, which is fine. It's supposed to be a good, computer automated system, so less use of the pilot overall. The CCRP accuracy has been increased on dives and pull-ups. Well, that's good. I wonder what the end goal for stuff like this is when it comes to its usefulness. We'll have to see, I suppose, in the next few months. Indication of site operations for all types of aircraft and helicopter weapons have been added to the HUD. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Thank God. More information is power. Now, when the target is locked on by a helicopter optical tracking system, the correction mode is immediately activated. The player no longer needs to turn it on manually and press the target lock key twice to stop target tracking. Wonderful stuff. That is awesome. Once again, just making it a little bit easier to use. Then we have sound. A bug has been fixed where the sound of a tank shot might not be heard if the shooting vehicle is not displayed on the map. I've actually had that a few times, which is kind of annoying, where you just get pinged out of nowhere and you don't hear anything, or you don't see anything. And it's because the dude is invisible and he's just firing from miles away. It's nice to see that it's changed now, because now it'll be much easier to recognize where people are via sound. It is now possible to zoom in when in first-person view while using a VR headset. Oh, well that's nice. And blackout and redout visuals now work in VR. So there is a little bit of VR stuff as well. So there's a ton of things which are available in this changelog for Regia Marina, so we'll have to see what goes on, going forward. But the main thing is obviously the new premiums for starter things. If you're looking to try out a new tree, I would recommend all 3 of these premiums just to run with your lineups. And also, maybe we'll have a Naval Enduring Confrontation back soon. That looks like something that will happen. As always, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank Ambrosius McClellan, B. Young, Battling Bacon, Blackie, Chris Giltnane, Conte Baraka, Daniel Stanton, Elove Goat, Jay Wilt, Martinez, Trigger Hippie, Universe, Eugens Terry, and also I'm Devilish and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.